Experienced transformation leaders have an innate instinct about choreography. A measured transformation creates change that unlocks energy as opposed to create chaos, and there's a vast difference between the two.
The saying is true that people are happy to change, they just don't want to be changed. They want to be able to change themselves. So I've found that it's worthwhile, as we say, going slow to go fast. So take the time, not just to engage with a senior leadership team or even the broader senior management, but take time to work with as many people as possible in the organization, because you hear so much more from the people who are closest to the customer.
Wilf, in that, this formula of listening to people, getting them to be part of a revolution, if I may, part of the change, and then all of the measures to align their behaviors. Have there been any instances where there were unintended consequences or risks that you would caution against, and there was any example that you would say, that was one thing that I would, in hindsight, do differently?
One of the mistakes I've made is not giving people more time to adapt. So a big bang on something that's suddenly a completely new way of being rewarded is too much of a shock. So one of the things I've learned is a parallel run. Have 12 months where you let people, their earnings may be based on the better of the old scheme and the new scheme. So they get time to figure out how to maximize the new scheme. Or ahead of that, have some new incentives, some new contests, competitions, etc., based on the new measures rather than the old measures before you have a wholesale change.
So as you look forward with many other transformations that are yet to happen for CEOs who are preparing themselves for transformations of the future, what would you say would be same? What would you say would be different in your own formula, or what advice would you have?
I would say momentum, pace, speed are the most important things when you're trying to bring about change. You can't be wading through treacle, because that's when you're going to sink. So I found even if you don't have a complete team, and there have been times I thought only a third of my team are ready, only a third are good enough, but you can't wait, because
right.
you got to keep moving. And I found then other people are attracted to join if there's speed and if there's excitement. And the people that are not with the program, they jump out faster if the train starts to move. So I think that's the number one thing is get moving and be consistent about what it is you're trying to do, and don't try to be popular. In fact, it's quite useful sometimes to find those contrary things where you're or at least situations where you're put in a position where you're forced to be brave, do something courageous, make a choice that shows you're really committed to the change.
I really like that formula for transformation of the future. Wilf, you've had so many experiences over a long, distinguished career. Reflect on what is some of the impact that you've left on organizations that you led, and please don't be shy.
Yeah. Well, I was very fortunate in one situation to revisit a company almost to the day, a decade after I'd left.
Right.
And I went back into just happened to be in the country, went back, and then I had the chance to see what legacy really is. And one of the things I've learned is it's sometimes not what you think is big at the time. It might be not like a new distribution channel or a new product range that happens to still be there. It can be those things. It might be something as simple as the way you run a meeting, and you've introduced a way and they like it and they carry on, or people that you introduced to the organization and they're still there because they love it. The cultural part, I think, is the number one, because we know culture change is difficult, and it's really hard to change culture. So I think it's always worth, as leaders, focus on what is the culture that we need to have here. I've been working in the fairly conservative, risk-averse insurance world, so innovation doesn't come naturally. So replacing in one or two countries cultures where people were fearful of making mistakes to cultures of where they were willing to take risks, to embrace, to try something new, to see mistakes as an opportunity to learn and get better.
When does the transformation end?
I think, Harsh, that change, as we say, it's continuous. I think it's important that we don't keep changing things just because we can. My view is, if this is the way we've been doing it now for more than 3 years, then there must be a better way. Now, but I think the art is to decide, is it worthwhile? Does it matter enough? Is there going to be enough impact? Is it going to move the dial? If not, let's focus on the big stuff, not the small stuff. So sure, having the muscle of managing change is important, and finding ways to do it's important, but it's not easy. So let's save it for the things, for those muscles that really can be strengthened with impact.